Welcome to the first of our lessons about working with dynamic blocks. In Volume 1 of this course, we created a few static blocks, but we hadn't covered working with dynamic blocks, and that's what we'll be talking about now. Let's begin by switching to Architectural Units. Click on the Application button, Drawing Utilities, Units. Let's switch to Architectural and click OK. Now let's go to the View tab. Click Tool Palettes. There's a number of tabs on the tool palettes: architectural, mechanical, electrical, civil, and so on. If you go down to the bottom where the tabs sit on top of one another and you left or right click, you're able to select a tab from the menu. Let's go to the Architectural tab. Here we see a number of pre-made blocks. These are imperial samples. Down below we see the samples in metric. This yellow lightning bolt is the symbol that signifies this is a dynamic block. Let's select the door and just left-click in model space to place it in our drawing. This door supports a few different standards. If I select the door, a number of options become visible. To see what they are, we just mouse over the block. This control here sets the side the door is hung on. We can flip the door horizontally and vertically. We can also specify the angle at which the door opens, let's say 60 degrees. We can change the length of the door, let's say 2 feet. And we can specify the wall thickness, say 4 inches. And of course, I can reposition the door. I can make a copy of the block, and so on. Let's take a look at the window block next. Left-click to place it in model space, select it. Let's modify the length. Let's say 5 feet. We can flip it by clicking here. And specify the wall thickness, let's say 6 inches. Next are aluminum windows. Select it and drop it in model space. Let's change the width to 5 feet, for example. And let's make it 4 feet 6 inches tall. Next, we have light fixtures. Let's drag them in. Left-click to place. This light fixture has a slightly different interface. Let's, for example, make it 8 feet by 1 feet. The next dynamic block is the stud. Let's select it, drag it in, left-click to place it. Here's a single stud. Let's select it, and let's just drag it out, making 4 studs. Change it to 2 by 8. Let's take a look at the next block, the toilet. Here I can flip the view. And let's click the arrow at the bottom left to see a number of other options. I can rotate it 90 degrees. Next, we've got the tree and shrubs block. Let's select it. Left-click to place it, and let's scale it. Go to the Home tab, activate the Scale command, right-click, base point about here, and let's make it 0.25. Let's see what choices we've got here. Right-click. We've got shrub elevation, let's say. And I'm going to make a few copies. Activate the Copy command. Select the base point and left-click to place copies. Right-click and enter to close the Copy command. Let's take a look at the vehicle block. We've got a few options. Let's select the block. Now click on the arrow at the bottom left. Let's say Sport Car Top. Okay, now let's overview how we can edit the dynamic block. With the block selected, right-click and select Block Editor. Let's drag the tool palette out of the way. The block authoring palette is open here. We're going to learn more about this in our subsequent tutorials. For now, I'm going to move the block authoring palette out of the way. Let's say I want to edit the sports car's top view. I'm going to drop a rectangle around the car. Let's go back to the Block Editor tab to test how our block works. The Test Block command is located in the Open Save panel. We select the block. Let's select a visibility state, sports car top. And it looks like the block works just fine. Let's exit. Close the Block Editor. And let's save our changes. Here is our modified block. This concludes our first lesson about working with dynamic blocks.